Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my financial situation, how I'm budgeting for the next year and how I plan to pay off my debt. So I've always been the kind of person who's pretty good with money in a sense. From a young age, my parents gave us our allowance through a debit card. So I think from when we were about 12, we each had a debit card and we got our allowance through there so that, you get used to managing your own money and when it's gone, it's gone. Whereas I think a lot of other people kind of just get money as a kid when they ask for it, which I think kind of makes you sort of not be able to manage your money quite as well. I started working when I was 16 and that gave me a lot of financial freedom so that I could buy things that I wanted to and save up for holidays and things like that. So I was generally good at having money in a sense, but I would tend to spend it all. So I'd save up for a holiday and then I'd spend all of it. So I didn't end up with like a lot of savings. And then when I was in university, I worked in a restaurant, and because we were given cash tips, you get used to having a lot of cash. So that would be kind of like my spending money, and then my paycheck I just wouldn't touch, and that would be what I saved up, and those savings would kind of go to holidays and stuff like that, and to my study abroad that I did in third year, which was in Los Angeles, and that ended up being very expensive. So I owe my parents a bit of money from that. I owe them about 2,500 from that, so that's part of the debt that I still have to pay off, but I've paid off some of it throughout the years as well. And then following university undergraduate, I did a master's degree, which in Ireland, obviously people in America, I feel really bad because going to school is a lot cheaper here and you don't really get student loans in the same way, because for undergraduate university fees are about 2,500, and then for postgraduate like a master's, the course fee is like 7,000. So I paid for some of that myself and my mom paid for the rest of it. So I intended to get a loan out to pay for the masters and then to pay that back, but my parents said there wasn't any point in getting out a loan when it was going to be for a short period of time. There was no point in having that interest building up and stuff like that, so they said that I could borrow the money and pay it back in the next couple of years, which is the plan. So that was last year that I spent that, so that's an additional 5,000 to add to the 2,500 that I owe still from my study abroad. As well, I owe my mom an additional 1,000 euro that I spent on an iPhone 11. So I've actually got that sort of paid off because I won a prize for my master's program, which came with 1,000 euro reward, and I basically have just spent that in advance. So I'll be getting that in March, and then that goes back directly to my mom. So, and I think I might sound a little bit spoiled by saying that I owe my parents like 8,500 euro, which is close to I think $9,500 or maybe $10,000, but it's something that I intend to pay back within this year, and it's something they offered to do. I had offered to get a loan, but they wanted to not have me kind of building up any loan interest. So my plan to pay off that debt in the next year is, well, first that 1,000 euro will be paid off by me getting the prize money, and then the additional 7,500 euro will be paid off from a side hustle that I do, which is working as a speech and drama teacher. So I'm a qualified speech and drama teacher and I work on Wednesday evenings and Saturdays, and that I get paid per term, so 3 times a year. So I'll get a payment in the end of January, March and the start of June. So basically by June then I'll have that paid off from work that started in October. So it's basically paying off that almost $10,000 debt in 8 months. I'm kind of hoping to stop that side hustle after that, just because I am in a full-time program. Doing my PhD is still a job and it's 5 days a week, and I don't really want to be working 6 full days a week, so I wouldn't. Well, I'll see how it goes, if it's something that I can sustain, but right now I'm not sure. Right now it's just a good way for me to clear off that debt, because I would like to clear that debt this year. My other financial goal for this year is to save up 5,000 euro, which on top of paying off my debt would be pretty good. So my goal for the first quarter of the year, since it's January already and I don't think this month will be a big savings month, but my plan for January to March is to save up 1,000 euro. This 5,000 euro is to go in my permanent savings. I will also be saving up different amounts throughout the year that will be for either a large purchase or a holiday or something like that. So I'll sort of have like temporary savings, which are for things in a couple of months, and then future savings or permanent savings that are for like a mortgage or something like that. As I mentioned, I'm in a full-time PhD program, and that is funded by a scholarship which pays 1580 per month around in euros. So that's my main source of income, is that 1580 per month. And I also get an additional around 300 euros worth of extra like teaching activities and stuff like that. So my income is around 1880 a month, apart from my drama teaching money, which goes directly to my parents. So for my budget, I'm just going to be working with the 1880 because there's no point in dealing with the drama money when that's going to be going straight to my parents and paying off the debt. So this is basically be the budgeting of how I plan to actually save the rest of my money instead of, well, spend and save the rest of my money rather than paying back the debt, because I already have a plan for paying back the debt. If you saw my January 2020 personal bullet journal setup, you'd see that I put together a spread for my budget and my expenses for the month. So that is what I'm using. I'll just give you a quick look at it. Okay, so you can kind of see it there. The way I'm going to be doing the budgeting is whatever is in my account on January 1st or on the 1st of the month, that is the money I have, and that's what needs to be allocated for the budget. And if for some reason I get additional income throughout the month, then that will just not be counted. That'll be going into the next month. So I hope to have additional sources of income by the end of the year, and those, if they're coming at different times of the month, will be going just into the next month. So whatever is in my account on the 1st, that's what needs to be allocated in the budget. So because we got paid early towards like the 20th of December, I think, so we had about 10 days of spending, and it was Christmas, so I did spend some of my money, or a fair bit of my money already. So the amount of money I have for this month is €1,382.86. So I have this broken down into a couple of categories. So the first category is subscriptions, so things that are coming out of my account monthly. So I have my phone bill, which is €60 a month. My contract is actually up this month, which means that I don't have to pay that anymore, and from there on it's going to only be €20 a month because I'm not paying off the old phone that I used to have. So that's one thing. One thing is Amazon Prime, which I think I'm actually going to cancel, but I'm just going to leave it there because I don't know if I will get it again this month, because they always just kind of get me back every month, where they say that I would save so much more if I had it, so maybe I will get it back. And then I have Audible as well, which is €8, and I think for some of these I'm going to try and switch them to yearly subscriptions if I know I'm going to be using them. So Audible is one of those. TubeBuddy, which I use for like YouTube analytics, that's like €5 a month, and then I have iCloud, which is for extra storage, and that's €3 a month. And then I have sort of sinking savings, so things that are going to be coming out of my account to go into paying for something in the future. So one thing is orthodontist, $150. So I have an appointment to meet an orthodontist to get my gap fixed in sometime in January, February, but I just want to have that money set aside so that I have the consultation fee paid at least. And then I'm going to put 200 in my holiday savings, so I'm hoping to go away in March for a weekend away to Rome. So I'm going to put away 200 this month to save up for that, or maybe just pay for the flights or something. And then 200 is going to go into my permanent savings. 200 is going to go to my licentiate drama teaching diploma exam, which is the next level up, and I just wanted to do that this year, and I need to pay that in February, so I'm going to set aside 200 for that. And then I'm setting aside 100 for birthdays and Christmas presents. So my dad and my brother's birthdays are coming up in March, and my boyfriend's birthday is in April, so I need to be kind of already putting together some money for those things. And then that leaves me with about €450 spending money for this month. The way I've allocated that is €160 for dates, €80 for mates, so things that I do with friends, €80 for food or health foods that I want to buy, so I'm kind of low on some of the stuff like protein powder and different things like that, €50 for books, which I think is good because this year I am trying to learn a lot and read a lot more non-fiction, so I'm happy to put a big amount of money, not a big, but like a good chunk of money into books, because I think it's investing in yourself sort of, so I think that's a nice thing to do. And then I have €60 for transport and €20 for medical, so that should go into sinking funds really, because I want to be putting away like €20 a month so that I have enough money to go to the doctor when I need to and buy any medications and stuff like that. So yeah, and then I also have a voucher for €160, so that's going to be like clothes and stuff like that if I want to buy anything this month. And I have a note as well, which is for next month, to add beauty or self-care to my spending money, which should be doable because I'll have more like 1880, so I've already spent €500 this month from Christmas. I should have more money to be able to put together some more spending money. And then I also want to add on to my savings next month and possibly put in a new category for saving for a Mac desktop. As you can see from my spread, I have on the one page the budget plan page, which is where I can just sort of brain dump all of the stuff that needs to go into my spending for this month. And then I have an expenses page where I can actually track what I did actually spend my money on. So that's going to be really helpful for keeping track and seeing how the budget goes, so that next month I can see, okay, I didn't actually spend all of this, which I doubt, or I spent too much here, so I should probably allot more money for that and stuff like that. So I think this is going to be a really good spread to use. The way I'm going to sort it all out is that anything that's going into like a sinking fund will be going into like a separate savings fund in my account, and then the spending money will be going on to either cash or my Revolut account, which is just a separate bank account, so that I can just keep everything separate, so that I'm not going back to my main bank account and trying to take money out of that when it's all squared away. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was insightful, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of doing this as a way to keep myself accountable for the money that I want to save and stuff like that. Hopefully I will have more income coming in this year than just my scholarship money. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I plan on doing once a month to be able to set up my budget so that you guys can see how things are going and so that I can keep myself accountable. So if you want to see those in the future, I recommend that you would subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when those videos are up. And since that I have a tripod now, I should be able to actually do my bullet journal setup properly in future, so that you can actually see how I set up my budget spread and stuff like that. So again, if you want to see those, I would recommend that you subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.